Welcome to our show, The Voice of Nigerians in Diaspora. The Voice of Nigerians in Diaspora is brought by you, by you. This is an authentic voice that is not being clouded or overshadowed by money or cheap political popularity. We're here to voice the need and the concerns of every Nigerian. And our goal is to fight for a country where the son of nobody will become somebody.
Yes.
A nation where if you try, success will become yours. We're here to be your voice, the voice of the voiceless. I'm your chief host, Dr. Afame Funatu from Enugu State. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here with my co-hosts.
This is Dr. Blessing Anyawe Onyekachi. I'm also from Nigeria, Delta State. I live here in Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm Jeffrey Chukwemeka Anwokore.
Apostle Dr. Helen Godswill Solomon from Delta State, currently in Atlanta, Georgia.
And also in Nigeria. Because the thing is that, Apostle Dr. Helen always talk about, being in United States as well as being in Nigeria. So we say we all live both in United States and also
Nigeria.
in Nigeria.
Yes.
So welcome our viewers around the world and all our fellow Nigerians. Our topic today is the role of women in nation building. The role of women in nation building vis-a-vis in democratic process. So I'm going to come to our, we have these two great Nigerian women doing great things here in Atlanta, Georgia. So let me start with you, Dr. Blessing. Oftentimes you hear women saying they need to be given an opportunity to be part of leadership in a country, to be part of democratic process, to lead, to contribute their own quarter in nation building. So, do you think that that is valid, that women should be asking that for them to be given an opportunity?
Thank you, Dr. Afame Funa. That question is so important in the sense that I believe that it is our right as women. We don't demand for it. We don't request for it. It's our right. As a mother of the house, you nurture your children. You have a husband. You take off your husband, take off your children. You have a role, an important role to play in their lives. And when you look at all the women, they all have important role to play in people's life, in politics, in every aspect of life. So they don't request for it. They don't ask for it. It's their right. It's their right for equal representation in leadership.
Okay. Then let me follow up with that question, because if they're not requesting for it, if it's their right, why is it that we don't have a lot of women in the governance in Nigeria? What should women do? Do you think that women actually understand that it's their right to be part of the process, or where they're lacking that they're not, being seen in a number of elected positions in the country?
Okay, the thing is that the women, some of them, they know, but they are subdued. And when you look at Nigeria and the nation building and the politics of Nigeria, that is why we are going this direction that we are going. Because women are not represented equally. If women are represented, many things would have changed. Because women knows how to talk to their wives, how to talk to their husbands, how to talk to their children. But men being there, they come back home and give their wife a report. Every report, they think that is what suits their wives. But if it's a woman that goes there, they know that this thing I'm doing is going to affect my children. This thing I'm doing is going to affect my husband. So I don't need to do it. And they go home and tell their husband, you have to do this. You help me. Oh, baby, you have to vote for this person. Oh, baby, I'm going for this. So, but now it's only the men, because they want to subdue the women. So the women are like standing beside, watching. They don't know much to do. So this is the time that we need that change. The more we bring women into power, the more Nigeria is going to be a Nigeria for everyone. The more Nigeria is going to be suitable for everyone to live. The more Nigeria will be nurtured the way women nurture their children, the way women nurture their home, and even nurture their husband. So the more we represent Nigeria women, we put them in forefront of politics in Nigeria, not for them requesting. It's their mandate.
In other words, they should stand up.
They should stand up for their right. It's their right. It's our right, women's right, to be represented.
Okay, let's hear from Apostle Dr. Helen. Do you think that it's right for women to be saying, give them opportunity, or do you think they have the opportunity? The only problem is that they're not utilizing the opportunity to run for an elected position and make use of that power they have?
Thank you very much, Dr. Afam. Quite interesting, a topic that we are looking at tonight. So basically, let's go back to the beginning, when God created man. And everybody will see that God put man in the garden, gave man an assignment. As a matter of fact, 6 sets of assignment that God gave to man in Genesis 1:26 to 28. And then God came back, like every right investor would do, to come and check out this investment I made. Let me see how he's doing. Only for God to get there. He said, man was not good. Wow. Man was not good. And so God said, man is not good when he's alone. So God took his own initiative and put man to sleep. He did not ask man, what do you need to be good?
Yeah. Did he seek his opinion?
He did not ask for his opinion. He went ahead and put man to sleep. So while man was sleeping, God took out a portion of man. Now, we call it the rib. There is an Hebrew word for that, which represents not just a piece of the rib. Because if you look at the rib, it's not just one thing you can say you extracted. It goes round the chest, clavicle and all of that. So if God actually took the rib of a man to make a woman, basically what God would have done was to cut man into 2. All right? So God cut man into 2. One side of the man that was cut out is the side that carries the womb. The other side does not. That part that carries the womb is the woman. And that is why when Adam woke up, mistake number 1, he says she shall be called woman, the mother of children. Who told you Adam? Do you know her? Did you
agree with that?
The maker? How could you have been in? They gave you maybe anesthesia and you were put to sleep. You woke up in your sleepy stupor. And the first statement, she shall be called woman. Her name is Eve. Blah, 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 blah. You started running your mouth.
He was excited.
But you could have asked him, Father, who is this babe, man? What is she? So anyway, let's come down to the basics. So basically, men do not know women. You don't know women.
That's right.
You don't know what women carry.
Yes.
You don't know the potentials in women. Come down to Nigeria, 62-year-old man, no wife. Think of it. Irresponsible man. 62 years old man that has no wife and cannot maintain a wife.
And what do you mean by that?
62-year-old Nigeria that still does not recognize that there is a role for women in nation building.
But people will say that one time former deputy governor of Anambra State, Etiaba, was a woman. We have Dezen Madueke, who was a petroleum minister. There
are many of them.
Yes.
But look at the way they operate. The men always subject them to be answerable to them. They
do
never
what they want
give
to.
them the upper hand.
I don't perceive men like trying to subject this Ngozi Uwala to do their bid. Yeah,
yes.
Because I think she's actually a very good
example
representation of women when it comes to politics.
Leadership.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah,
But now you are talking about one woman out of 200 million
But
women.
remember,
You know?
But remember that her power does not start from Nigeria. They wouldn't have given
Had the opportunity.
The opportunity is here.
She started from outside.
You see?
So we are talking about the Nigeria.
Those that live
aspect
in
of it.
Nigeria.
Okay, so
Because the woman is only meant to be seen most times in Nigeria and not to be heard.
So we're talking about women leadership. Like, in what capacity do you guys think that this is that needs the most?
Every aspect of leadership is like saying in what capacity should a man's leadership go? What is the scope?
The reason why I asked that question is judging from the current situation of Nigerian political system right now. Even the young people, the young men, doesn't even have the opportunity to
Another
understand.
mistake again.
So this is a very huge problem. You understand? Now, there are a lot of people that are actually qualified, like to lead Nigeria, but they can't. Like, it's like the majority of the 10 qualified people that have what it takes to lead in Nigeria, they refuse to go into Nigerian politics.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
but-
It's
Why
still
did
coming
they
to the same
refuse?
thing.
Okay, so-
why did they refuse?
Okay.
Because the men that are there
Have
is not
messed up.
They are not giving them opportunity. You know?
They perceive it to be dangerous. You know why? Because the rule of law are not being followed. You understand?
And which boils down to the men too.
Actually, I think that is one of the reasons why women are discouraged into getting politics.
Thank you.
You understand?
You are right.
You're
It's part
very
of
right.
it.
When they are not being protected by the same rule of law, you understand? Nobody's there. I mean, you see what's going on. It's like somebody can, like your opponent can just get up and see you as a sworn enemy, and they will go all to the land to harm you or something like that.
Yes.
Which is unlike here. So I don't think if I had a wife in Nigeria and she wanna go for a political
You will not let
appointment,
her.
in as much as, even though
But-
I
but-
know that
okay.
she's a good look.
But
I probably
protection-wise-
might be able to discuss
Yeah.
Okay. Let me. I wanna ask a critical question because
Okay.
Jeff is saying that because of the
Insecurity.
insecurity in Nigeria,
Yeah.
even if
Which
his
is
wife
true.
wants to run for office, he won't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But the issue is this: if all of us are Nigerians with equal rights, okay, and okay, even when we talk about the women and the role of women in nation building or family, society building, we come to the churches, we know that our churches today is being run by women. Even though, like, in the Catholic Church, men are the priests, but again, for you to have a functional parish, women are the one organizing, getting the
Everything.
money, doing everything. During August, we have women who organize themselves in August meeting and everything. The question is, why can't women organize themselves? Because even sometimes, if you take a deep dive into statistics and our population, the women might be population might be a little bit bigger than men. So why do you think women cannot, if they're able to organize themselves in the church, have those meetings and everything, why can't women speak to their fellow women in language they will understand, so that they will have people run for office, get into office, and make a policy that will move the nation forward?
Women have a lot of limitations. Let's not minimize that. Apart from the fact that the nation of Nigeria is not secured, look at most homes. Husbands do not let their wives go and do such things, number one. Number two, even in the older days, you will notice that women were not even allowed to take certain positions. In the days of Socrates, all those philosophers, they came up with an ideology that because of the woman's nature, that she was not reliable, to handle certain positions.
Yeah.
And what was it about the woman that made them think that the woman could not handle certain positions? Because of that same thing that makes her a woman, the womb. Because when a woman is a little girl, the womb is positioned in one place. When she gets into puberty, getting prepared to become a mother, to start her monthly visitor, the womb shifts and then prepares her for all of that monthly cycle throughout the period of her childbearing age. Now, all of these come with different moods. And then when she becomes pregnant, the hormones and all of those things acting up, she's a different woman, in her reactions to issues. And then by the time she's nursing, when she has a baby, another type of behavior. And then when she becomes older and becomes menopause, another level. But you see, all of these aspects of the woman, they come with gracious gifts to humanity. That humanity should start harnessing. The Hebrew word for the womb is the word that only relates and links to the mercy of God. The same word that describes the mercy of God. So right there in a woman, you see the mercy of God in her womb. And that is why women forgive easily. And they forget. It's intentional. Because if a woman does not forget, no woman will have more than one child. After the pain of the first labor, you ain't going there the second time. But immediately they finish one, they are ready for the next baby. So what I'm trying to say is this. Women, even when they want to rise up, we have a lot of hindrances. So like Socrates and those others, they said, if you allow the woman to come on board, the next thing, maternity leave, she's pregnant. She goes home to have a baby, stays away for a while, comes back. But then over the years, we have seen that women can manage all of that. Women are naturally able to multitask. God has given women the grace. Men don't multitask. You all know that. When you are focused on one thing, that is one thing you are doing. But women can do 5 things at the same time. So why is it that women are asking to be given the power? Because we are in a male-dominated society. Everybody is, look at the offices, look at places. Who is the head everywhere? Is a man. So they literally have to ask.
But it's a probably changing in these days, because when you look around the world, you begin to see a lot of countries electing women to be the head of state or the president of a nation. You know, in this country, Hillary Clinton ran for presidency.
But America, as old as they are in civilization, we are just having a vice president female. We have not had any female president in America.
Okay, but now let's come back to Nigerian system. What do you think, or how do you think that women should shape the narrative of upcoming election in Nigeria in 2023?
Okay, the best way for that is representation. They should be able to represent themselves first before you be able to represent others. They should be able to speak up without being fear, without having that fear of anything. Because like our brother has said, the country has put us in that fear mode that, like he said, if a woman comes out now to run for any office, the husband will be like, no, look at my armpit.
I don't have it.
Like my husband will say, I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it.
Meaning, don't drag my foot out.
You know? Yeah, yes, you know. Yeah, meaning that it's like a danger zone.
Right.
But how long should we continue to live in that fear? Because if we don't come out to take that position,
fear will consume you.
Fear will consume you, and the wrong ones will be going there, and things will be getting worse just by the day, as we are saying. So we are telling women to come out from their shells.
Yes.
Come out from your fears and participate fully in this coming election. Represent yourself, your family, your children, your husband. Because that voice that you have to speak to your children and they listen to you, you're still the same. That voice that you have to speak to your husband and you make his ears to be no, you're still the same. If we represent ourselves and our family and go into offices, many things will change because we know how to change things. Women are change agents. They can change every situation, any situation. If women are there, first thing they consider is your home. It's like us now. Before I take any decision, I think about my children. I think about my husband. Will they be happy with me, this decision? Is it good for my husband? Is it good for my children? If they are okay with it, I go ahead and do it. But if I look at it, it's not going to be favorable for them, I move back. So if a woman is in those positions, they will consider Nigeria as their own children or as their own child. They will put them first. They are not going there to just embezzle and see things crumbling before them. That nurture God has given to women, they will be able to nurture Nigeria.
Okay, let me come back to Jeff. Jeff, you made mention that because of the volatile nature of Nigerian politics, that some men will not allow their wife, to run for elected office, and sometimes a young lady who run for office and get elected may have the challenges of getting married because men will think that the person
She's
has
too
become
independent.
so
She's too
wild.
strong.
So how do you think that that the men can encourage and create a favorable platform environment for women to be an integral part of the process?
Okay, I think the first thing to do is actually to change the political landscape in Nigeria. Like for example, we need to introduce, like modern political system. If you look back to the whole people that is in political offices in Nigeria, you will see that a lot of them has been there, even long before I was born.
Yes.
Exactly.
And they still don't want to go.
Exactly. Now, and compare these people and then compare the young people because where the world is going right now, technology cannot ignore it. And it will be very difficult for these people to embrace it. And a lot of people don't like changes, especially when it comes to the older people.
Yes.
Which is the reason why Nigeria is not even moving. Nigeria is like being in a vehicle that does not have any direction. Because what's the agenda? Every day I keep trying to find out where is Nigeria heading? What is it that we are trying to achieve as a nation that will actually collectively move us? Mm-hmm. You understand? I can't find something like that. And the reason why it's like that is because of the people leading.
The old orders.
The old people.
They don't want changes.
They don't want change. And they don't want new people to come in and adulterate their original ideology.
Exactly.
They just want to remain where they are.
Exactly.
And that is why Nigeria is like this.
Now, that brings us back to the women role in building a nation, because women, God give them the skill to build a home. You understand?
Yes.
Right.
When you come into a house with a woman, you will see the
difference.
Yes.
So they are skilled in building a home, so they have what it takes to pro up their sons, their husbands,
I agree. I agree with you.
And first of all, because for anything to change, we need to vote these people out. People need to vote
them out.
You understand?
Let me say something. I think in this show I talked about this last time. I was here in the United States. I have never heard my mom talk about politics. Never.
No.
But in this election, she called me. She said, call your father. Make sure, that she's been telling my dad that he must go and get his PVC. I said, Mama.
See, exactly. That's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about. And trust me.
Your
dad is going to get it.
He has to.
He did.
This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's going to get it. I'm telling you.
Yes. So,
you see, their influence.
Yes.
You understand?
The Lord has that it when necessary.
Yes.
So, but you see, because now that we have nominated all the candidates running for this 2023 election, now all the political parties in Nigeria are campaigning now, convincing people. I feel that if 60 to 70% of women in Nigeria would do what my mother did by calling their children, because you see, I do not understand. If you are a father, you say like you belong to either a particular political party, and they have been in power for 8 years, and your son went to university, and he's supposed to graduate in 4 years. He graduated in 6 years after he studied. Exactly.
Yes.
And after that. And he's been looking for the past 2 years. He finished graduation.
5 years.
5 years. There's no job. And your husband will still come home and say, "I want to support that party." So, as a woman, what will you do? Because my mom, I said, Mama, he said, you better start calling your father now. He must go and get it. And my father went and got it.
Exactly.
Right.
So that is what we want.
Yes.
We want women who are outspoken like that. We want women to stand for that. We want change. And the only change that can do things in Nigeria right now is women knowing their role and taking that position.
So
a change.
So how do you think that, just like this example I gave, how do you think that women should influence each other to start taking a concrete steps in influencing the candidates that have been elected into political positions in Nigeria by taking a concrete step? How do you think we should influence those women to stand up and begin to take a realistic actions?
A lot of things to be done. Women belong to different organizations, like you said, in the church. They can influence people in the church. They have Christian mothers. They have different groups. They have different meetings.
Village meetings.
August meetings. A lot of ways. Even market. As they're selling their okra, they're selling their oil. They can influence anything they want to influence. But the only thing is just for them to come out of their shares, come out of that fear that has engulfed them, to be able to speak. They need to speak up. Hey, Mna, my sister, you remember this coming election? We need to vote for this person. That person will tell one person will tell another one. Before you know it, even as they are going to the farm. So they have that voice. They should use their voice. They should use that voice to make changes in this coming election. They should know that the whole thing that is happening in Nigeria is not affecting even men as much as it's affecting women. They should know that it's their children that this hindrance is coming to. Their children graduating, no work, no job. A man can have children, 100 children, and do whatever they want to do. But the woman is the home. The woman makes the home. And if your children graduate from school, no job, the woman is suffering. The woman is thinking. The woman is sad. So now the woman has to use everything you have, all the energy in you in this coming election. We want you to use that voice to campaign. You don't need to campaign with money. You need to campaign with your voice. You need to tell your partner, your friend. You need to tell your market women. You need to tell your neighbor in your farm. Everybody, your employers, your laborers in your farm. Tell them. Think about your life, the future of your children today, and remember tomorrow.
Absolutely.
What way do you want Nigeria to be? Nigeria is in women's hand this coming election. We must make a difference. We must take our position in Nigeria, occupy our roles, and make sure that there is change.
So, thank you for that, Dr. Blessing. So, Apostle Dr. Helen, when Dr. Blessing said that the women would, take a deep role in this election, from your perspective, how do you think that Nigerian women in diaspora who have been exposed to in a country where the role of women have been recognized, women have been empowered, not necessarily empowered, but given an opportunity to play an equal part with men, just like in the United States now, when we talk about men's soccer team and women's soccer team, trying to blend the payment of both teams, right?
Yes.
So, how do you think that our women in diaspora, do you think they are doing enough to educate our Nigerian women, or the Nigerian women who already have the privilege of being in power? Do you think they are doing enough to educate women in the villages, in the communities, to know the power they have to be able to play a vital role in nation building?
Thank you very much. You see, talking about women empowerment, we are already empowered, naturally empowered. Even in Africa, we have a legacy. You've heard about the Amazons of Dahomey. These were women who rose up to fight the colonial masters when the men could do nothing. They resisted colonialism and drove the white men away.
Even
about women's rights.
Yes.
I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Then you had the young girl, Queen Amina of Zaria, went to war with her father.
Yeah.
And she fought, used ammunition. The first pharaoh, female pharaoh, Nefertiti, African woman. So in other words, we have a legacy as women leaders. But by nature of the African woman and the Nigerian woman, we think that our role is a homemaker, childbearing. All right? Now, my advice, my counsel to the Nigerian women is take that homemaking skills, enlarge it to nation making. There is nothing extra. Trust me. I ran for presidency 2 times in Nigeria.
Okay.
2015 and 2019.
And how was your experience?
It was tough, but I was up to the task. At least I came out as the presidential aspirant of 2 major political parties. But the men suppressed me. That is what we are talking about. For the first time in 2015, they told me, well, in Nigeria, women, there is that, let us support another party, and they went behind and collected money. That is what they do. 2019, they did the same thing. They said they will not vote for a woman. So now you see a situation where you have competent women, but the men think you cannot do it.
Because you're a woman.
Just simply because you are a woman.
But sometimes people say that women don't trust themselves as well because...
It is the men that instigate women against women. Quote me. Yes. Because you see, one of the things you have to realize is that men are naturally manipulative. I'm sorry that you guys are guys.
Jeff, do you believe that?
It's not even open for debate. Yes, it's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion, okay? So men, when they want something, they know what to do with their wife. They know what to do with their daughters. They know what they do with their children.
To get it.
And in their office too, the same thing. They know what to do to get it at the end of the day. So most of the time, you find out that women always want to tilt towards gaining acceptance and permission from the men. And that is why I want to address Nigerian women. Hear me. First, I said we have a legacy. And I gave example with Queen Amina of Zaria. She was a young girl. About women's riot. You heard that story. In case you haven't read it, go and get the history. These women took to the streets and they achieved their goal. And we have women all over who are making sense in everything that they're doing. Now, what makes the difference? Yes, the fear will come. But when you look at the situation, look away from your fear. Look away from the fact that it's all men. Because most of the time, I remember when I was running for those 2 elections, they will invite me for meetings at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Now, most of the time, some people were deliberately putting those meetings at those times thinking I will not come. Now, imagine at that time, driving to a meeting as a woman. Naturally, they're going to say, where's this woman going to at this time? But if a man can go out at 3 a.m., who says I cannot go out? If you can be in that meeting at 2 a.m., why can't I be in that meeting? If that's the time we chose to have the meeting, we can. Now, that brings me again to the way we were created as human beings, as women. There is something in us. There is a mechanism in a woman that when opportunity comes or when she's in a desperate mode, you will be shocked what that woman can do.
What they can do, yes.
I'm a pastor, so I cannot talk much without referring to the Bible. There is a woman, a young girl in the Bible called Esther. When Esther was first told, you need to do something, she knew that this king was not a man you can mess with.
Yes.
Otherwise, it was a death sentence. And she said, I cannot go to this man. What was her reason, people? She said, for 30 days, I have not been invited by my husband. So I cannot possibly go and ask him for this favor that you are asking me to go and ask on behalf of my people. In other words, whatever you are being assigned to go and do, Esther was saying, I can't go because I'm not in my husband's bedroom. But who says it's about the bedroom? Women, you are moving from the bedroom to the throne room. You are moving from the bedroom to the boardroom to decide matters of nation building. So quit looking at your bedroom or the other room.
And looking down yourself, stop.
That's not your only assignment. That is an added value. You know that. So move beyond the bedroom and go to the throne room. Stop minimizing your beauty to that. Your beauty is meant to give you access. Your body as a woman is meant to give you access, but don't abuse it. Now use it. We have a lot. We have a lot.
Lot to contribute.
There are places that we just go in, they open the door. Not because of anything. You haven't given anybody money.
You're a
But
woman.
simply because you're a woman.
Right.
Let's use it.
And
All right?
And another thing that is kind of powerful, just like here in the United States, when certain women achieve certain goal, and you see younger girls coming out to say, "Hey, because either this person become a governor of a state, or this person has achieved this and that," it's like giving me hope that I
can do it
I
too.
can do it.
Yes.
And to young Nigerian girls who may watch this YouTube, you will think as they see the election play around in our country that our young girls can, I swear, dream and say, one day I might become the governor of Enugu State, I might become the president of Nigeria, I might become the chief of army staff in Nigeria. Do you think Nigerian girls have such an inspiration from the democratic process in our place right now?
Yeah, yes, they are. Because when you look at what is happening in Nigeria now, nobody has ever envisaged it. I have never seen people coming out like this to support people for election, for presidency, or for anything. That everyone is just supporting this one person. So Nigeria has started seeing beyond what we used to see. They have started voting not for the party, they have started thinking about individual
and the quality of the leadership that
of
we
this
need.
person. That is why you see, and I have never seen Nigerians
So united.
spending their money for a politician. I have never seen Nigerians shouting like you and I. Anywhere we go to, we are not in Nigeria, but everyone in America knows that this is the time for Nigerians election.
Something's going on in Nigeria.
Anyway, even my job, they know. You get my point. So
Right.
Nigeria have started seeing beyond what we used to see. And believe me, if the old politicians envisage what is happening now, I know most of them would have changed. Most of them would have done better. Because they've never thought that Nigerians could
We
come
wake up one
to
day.
ask questions, to say, oh, we don't like what you've been doing, we need a change. Because we've never done it before. So now things has changed that everybody is awakening up. You understand? So the women are learning. Now they are knowing, oh, it's no more bag of rice and the beans and clothes and this
salt
and money.
And rubber.
All we care about is good governance. Somebody who can do things for us. So the women now, they are becoming to know their role. They are becoming to come out now and talk. They are becoming, even though they are not doing it as we are supposed to do, because we are learning. We are coming up. Because this election has opened so many people's eyes up to know that there is a big change.
Okay, Jeff, let me ask you a question as we begin to come to the close of the show. So, from a male perspective, what will you tell Nigerian women to focus on as we drive towards this presidential election, another election we have in Nigeria? What word of encouragement, what concrete metrics will you suggest for them to focus on in making sure that we're able to change narrative? Because you said in the beginning, in order for us to move the nation forward, there's need for the old politicians to retire and for the breed of new leaders to emerge that are innovative centric, zero corruption, industrialization centric, and all that. So, what will you tell a Nigerian woman in that regard?
Well, power is not given; it's taken.
Sure,
You understand?
I like that.
They actually in a more better position to encourage people to organize from grassroots and help people to actually encourage people to vote those people out. You understand? Because it's only when these people are being voted out of the government and new people get in. You understand? That is one thing. That is, I mean, it's like you're trying to talk to somebody, but when they are not willing to listen to you, I mean, you don't have anything to discuss.
Yes.
So it's better that you have someone that is willing to hear your own point of view, to discuss your concerns.
Listen
You
to you,
understand?
yes.
Then you will be able to make your case. Okay, this is not right. This is right. Someone that we have reason. Those people out there, they're not doing something like this. So I think for women to be able to get to the position they deserve to be, you understand? Because I believe what you're saying, they need to be in a position to lead Nigeria. It's not just men. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The country is for
Everybody, both the youth, the young people.
Yes.
Yeah, and-
so they need to be included. So I think it's only when those people, because right now we're all fighting for one goal. It doesn't matter if we're a man or a man. At least we need to have a country first.
Yes.
So
Have
we
good
can be
governance,
able
we can
to-
call home.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right,
Because
right.
right now we are like we
Sheep
we
without
living here. We
shepherd.
came here by ourselves, but we actually living like refugees.
Exactly.
Because,
Yes,
I
it's
mean,
scared to go
I've
home.
had my ticket to go home for over a year now. You understand?
you
I
said-
can't go
Yeah.
because when it comes time to go, everyone's
Something's
you
going
better
on.
don't come.
Right,
You better don't come. I
exactly.
mean, it's
Yes, I
either
know.
you're being
Exactly.
scared of going there.
All of that.
You will build a house. You wouldn't even go there.
Yes.
You would have a nice car in Nigeria. You wouldn't
can't
even
drive
drive
the
it.
car.
You understand? So we are like
Haven't even
refugees
talked
here.
about
I want to go
investment.
to Nigeria just
have
for
fun.
holidays, but I cannot. So I'm basically stuck here. So I don't have any country.
All
You
that will
understand?
change.
So
Good
we
governance.
need to have a country first. Then
Yeah.
we can be able to decide, have a very sound dialogue. Okay.
Right.
This and this is what we need to change.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, as we're coming to the end of the show, just like we said to our Nigerian people, that you cannot continue to do the same thing
And expect a
over
change.
and over and over again and expect a different result.
Yes.
It's not possible. And in this election, you have nothing to lose if you move away from where we are and make a different choice by not looking at party or loyalty, but looking at who can move Nigeria from this sinking ship we are in into a place of hope, productivity, zero nepotism. People are being given opportunity or role to lead the nation based on their competency, their capability, their tenacity, their ingenuity. We have Nigerians doing great things all over the world.
Oh, yes.
And because just like we said earlier, if we don't have security, how can a young
can't build.
Nigeria who is building computer in Silicon Valley come to Nigeria to invest? Or just like my friend Jeff here, making movie in America, how will he go to Nigeria to make movie?
No, he can't.
Or you, as a healthcare provider, like to change healthcare system, or Apostle Dr. Helen within the ministry and also as a lawyer to be able to build a robust justice system. So Nigeria belongs to all of us.
Yes.
It's not one man's job. And our mothers, this is for you. You are the pillar of our country.
Yes.
If each of us stand up, women, we know if women in Nigeria rise up, Nigeria will be better.
Oh, yes.
Sure.
Nigeria will be a home.
Yes.
Nigeria will be a giant of Africa. And Nigeria will be pride of black race.
Absolutely.
So, come back to you, Apostle Dr. Helen. Will you say your last word for our viewers?
All I have to say to women of Nigeria, you can do it. So get up, take one bold step. A journey of so many miles begins with a step. So rise up.
And Dr. Blessing.
All I have to say is thank you, all Nigerian women. We believe in you. And so far, we appreciate what you have been doing. But we say it because we want to encourage you to do more. And we know you can do more. As you nurture your home and make your home comfortable, that is what is expected of us this time. To nurture Nigeria and make Nigeria a good home, a livable home, a fulfilled home for all your children. Please get up and make a difference in this coming election. Thank you.
And Jeff.
Yeah, like they all mentioned, I mean, women deserve to be in a leadership position in Nigeria. There's no reason they shouldn't be. You understand? So let's just first of all get rid of these people, so that we can have a country. Because we need to have a country. We need to start moving. We need to start moving.
Right,
So,
I agree. I agree. I agree.
Have that dialogue.
Oh, good.
Absolutely.
Good. And our mothers, we love you. Just like we said,
Yes.
with you, come 2023, we'll have a country that everybody will be counted as an equal citizen. And for all of us, your children who are in the foreign land, we will have freedom to come home, buy bread, dance with you, and you will cook food. I haven't eaten my mother's food for over 2 years. We're from pandemic and all this crisis. Please, tell your neighbor, call your husband, call your children, let them go get a PVC. On that day, vote, vote, vote like never before. Thank you so much. And I want to thank our viewers for following us on Facebook, on YouTube. Like, share,
comment, and subscribe.
Reach out to us. But remember, the Voice of Nigeria in Diaspora is brought to you by you. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Thank you. And have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.